I'm Inside and I saw Sin City. It is directed by Robert Rodriguez and Frank Miller, and if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. First of all, I gotta say, I don't think I've ever seen a movie like this before. I really like the black and white and using very select color. Just pop it out, you know? It starts with red, and then as the movie transitions, more colors pop out. This movie also has a very interesting storytelling way, like going from multiple characters and ending their plot line when they either die or like, I don't know, talk to somebody else. It's usually death, and it's like, okay, I was honestly expecting to watch this one person for the entirety of the movie, and then when they die, and it's like, oh, who are we gonna follow now? But you know, it actually makes sense within the continuum of the story, because like the person who had died previously had interacted with the next person in their life in like in a previous scene, and now we're following this person that they interacted with. As the name suggests, this movie is dealing with a lot of sin. However, I do like the different motivations with each of the characters. Got some doing some good sin for doing some good, and it just seems like all of these characters are just trying to survive in this terrible world. Honestly, I think my favorite two moments from this movie has to be the prostitutes, the killer prostitutes, that if you mess with them, they're gonna get you. So I like them. It seems like they're really strong, tight-knit. But if you mess with them, that's no good. But also I like the yellow guy. He is really creepy. Like, he is so yellow compared to like everything else. And I'm like, oh geez, what's up with you, guy? And he just seems like the most creepy guy I've ever seen. Honestly, I gotta be very honest with you. So I do like the character designs, and I do like their character personalities. Just with the way that the movie is told, it's hard for me to like keep track of like all of their character beats within like the little storyline that they're within. There's a lot of tragedy, love, sex, violence. I think this is what this movie ultimately covers. Like, the first part is love. Right, we got some two little lovers, they're having a little kiss, and then death. Oh, get wrecked. You got them cigarettes? I really like the cigarette. But like, you know, it wasn't cool getting rid of her body. That wasn't good. You know, I didn't quite enjoy that. But you know, I thought it was all right, honestly. The way that we have like all their connecting stories is really nice. Like, I like it a lot. I honestly wish that there was more connection between each character, like more, like, you know, I mean, I saw like a couple of guys in the background that I'm now following, but like if they're like more buddy, it'd be like, okay, so it's like more of like a baton pass with all their stories. Within Sin City, it seems like they're dealing with a lot of violence. I mean, yeah, it's called Sin City for a reason, but particularly I like the little storylines. Oh, it looks like kidnapping occurred. Oh, it looks like blackmail occurred, and you got to do this or else you're gonna get got, and this person's gonna get got. I really like the third story the most, honestly. With the little car, and like we're driving the car, and I really like the part where like we got a bunch of dead bodies, we got to put them into a car, and we got to chop them up and make sure they fit into the car, but one of them is just, you know, there, he just kind of exists now, and he has like a little thing through his head, and it's like the cops pull this guy over, and this guy's like, the dead body is just like on the dashboard, and I'm like, oh my goodness, is the cop going to notice that that's the dead body? No, he just doesn't care, it seems. There's so much death, violence, and sex and drugs and all that fun stuff in Sin City, and I don't know how the cops don't care. I mean, are there any cops in this world that even try? It seems like the cops don't even try whatsoever. So on top of the colors, the great shots, great camera movement, I really like the actors, although some of the actors a little bit too like whispery for me. Like, I gotta be honest, especially the first guy, a little bit too whispery for me. Later on in the movie is like more notable, but in terms of like keeping straight the plot, I had a really hard time keeping straight of everything was happening. All I saw was like lots of sex, lots of drugs, lots of killings, lots of terrible stories. I felt for these people though while I was watching this movie. I was like, oh no, you guys have families. Please, oh please don't die. Please don't get got by Sin City. And that's what happens. Sin City just keeps on moving on. Just keeps on going. After everyone dies, Sin City is still there. So it's a nice little movie. It's like kind of just like it's focusing on 3 characters, or at least 3 groups of people within this large city. And honestly, I'd like to see more city stories. That's what I was trying to think of. More city stories would be nice. Maybe a sequel to this, I'm not sure. I actually never read the original comic book, but I do know this is based on a comic book. And let me know what you think of Sin City in the comments below. I just gotta apologize for my memory. Is very lacking. But I do remember this being a really good movie, and the colors awesome. So noteworthy. I love the colors. So, you know, I gotta give this movie like a solid 8 out of 10. Woo, woo, doop, doop. If you like this review, watch another one. YouTube really likes that. If you like to fast track a movie review, you can do that for $20 dinos at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of all them daily movie reviews, go to this link tree. So you can go here. And until next time, in salad, I'll see you later to my salad croutons, big bits.